Hi, morning. So it's morning and I'm gonna let this car get past. I'm just leaving my office. I stopped off to put some plans up, having a meeting with the contractor this morning to share the preliminary, we're gonna talk about that, preliminary pricing on a home remodel job. And quite frankly, I'm a little nervous. So why am I nervous? So this is a project, let me scenario. Older woman, she lives in a very small, what would have been a summer cottage, post World War II, summer cottage near the lake, not on the lake, and it didn't take that many years before, basically people just use them as regular homes. And this house is very tiny, and the kitchen is totally below what our modern standards would be. Like, there's no room for a dishwasher. So, and like, she has this gas range that has had no ventilation all these years. Older woman, retired. She wants to be there for at least 10 more years. And of course, what everybody wants to know is how much something is going to cost. And when I met with her, she told me her number of what she basically had. When we ask people what their budget is, or what it's almost like, I don't even know why we ask sometimes, because most people don't know. But we need to know that, you don't have this totally fictitious number in your head of what this project. So we do have to do a little pre-qualifying. So we do talk about money, and her number was a little worrisome, but it wasn't like, okay, this isn't going to work at all. And what the issue is, it is involving an addition and straightening a wall, because you can't get anything in that kitchen without straightening the wall. And of course the windows are low, so you can't put countertop underneath. It's just like, she would have a hard time selling this house. Whoever would buy this house would be a very low number, because they would have to realize that they are going to have to do what we are proposing to do now. And since she loves her neighborhood and wants to stay, we went forward with this. And so this is a situation where I did not want to be signed on a contractor. I just started this on an hourly consultation, because what she needed to start with is the architect. And here's the thing, a contractor, especially when you're doing moving walls and things, they can't give you pricing until they have some drawings. And what the concern was, I can rough out a kitchen price. That's not the hard part. The hard part is the foundation, straightening the wall, what happens with the roof, all that sort of thing. And a builder can't even do that for you. He needs drawings. So I hooked her up with an architect that I enjoy working with. And so, anywho, she is, I'm not going to go the right way. And he's very reasonable, and he's great. And so he did the architectural plans, for which the contractor can give pricing on. And I did have a little conversation with the contractor a week or so ago when we were setting this meeting up, and he kind of gave me a clue where things were going. So I'm a little worried, because I don't know if the number of hers that she gave me is true, or how much more she would have. And it is probably 40, it's going to be 50, probably 40 for 50% bigger than the numbers she gave me. And I suspect she doesn't have deep pockets. So I'm going to go into this meeting, and when I come out, I'll share with how it went. But the reality is if you're doing something major like remodeling or even new construction, a certain amount of work has to happen to get you a reasonably close number. People don't like to spend money. They just want the answer, but you're gonna have to spend some money to get a real answer. So let's see how it goes. All right. Okay, so meeting is over and went great. And so the preliminary estimate came in about 40% higher than the number she kind of was hoping to hit. So again, this is typically how it is. We typically don't want to tell people what we really have to spend, because we're afraid that they'll spend everything, and that you're going to want additional things. So I'm just relieved that she had, some extra, money, and that she's excited, and she says we're still a go, and she's actually adding a couple details. And so now at this point, because the preliminary came in really well, now I'm going to write up my proposal. At this point, I will be giving her a fixed fee. That's a whole conversation about how designers charge, but I like to get to go through the whole design thing and all the specifications done on a fixed fee, and then a lot of times I will work beyond that during the construction on an hourly again. But now I can move forward, and we are going to start the design process, and we're all excited. And so, all right. Thanks for sharing with me and my anxiety on this meeting, and I'll catch you next time.